I've had a comment left on one of my videos that I think is really interesting and worth discussing. Basically, I'm going to ad lib here. I haven't got it written down in front of me exactly what it said, but basically, the viewer, subscriber, said that it didn't look like I really lived in my van full time because I'm always here, there, and everywhere. You know, I'm at my sister's, business unit working, stuff like that. It wasn't a nasty comment. He actually said at the end of it, and it looks nice. It's a nice situation. But I think it's a really interesting comment because I am a full-time van lifer in my eyes, in as much as my van is my home. That's it. I haven't got a house. I don't, live with anybody else. My van's my home. But I think a lot of people perceive full-time van lives, as it's called, as those people that you see on YouTube that are always travelling, going to different places, different park up every night, going all over the country, great adventures, beautiful scenery, different scenery all the time, beaches, surfing, and all this. And a lot of those are true. I say a lot, I don't know many. In fact, I only know one that lives full-time van life like that. But I think the perception, particularly of people that aren't into van life yet, that haven't done it yet, is that that's how it is. That's what full-time van life means. Well, it doesn't mean that to me, and it doesn't mean that to most of the full-time van lifers that I know. So let's just put it in perspective a little bit. You're either living full-time in your van, or you're part-time. In other words, you've got a property, you've got a home, and you go out in your van, on a part-time basis, maybe weekends, whatever. But you've got a home somewhere else. That's my interpretation of part-time van life. And my interpretation of full-time van life is quite simply, if your van is your home, you're a full-time van lifer. That's how I see it. You might see it differently, and that's fine. But that's how I see it. So let me give you some examples. My life now, as opposed to when I live in my house, there's not a lot of difference between when I lived in my house and now I live in my van, in a lot of aspects. Let me explain. All right, I still go to work. I did when I had the house. The only thing was different for me then is that I worked from my house. All my stock and everything that I did, I sell online, if you don't already know. Everything that I had was in 2 bedrooms in a 3-bedroom house. So that was my work. So I still worked. I didn't have to go to work, if you like. Now I'm in my van. I haven't got the house anymore. My van is my home. I've got a business unit where I do my work from. No different to if I had a job, right? So I still go to work every day, unfortunately. That's something I'm trying to get out of, but that's another story. Stick with this one. So I still go to work every day. I also, when I lived in my house, used to go and see my old mum at least once, twice a week. Every Sunday I go there for dinner. It's the same when I was in my house. It's the same now. And I try and get round there in the week as well. I do her shopping if she needs it, or wherever I can help out. And obviously I just like to go and see her. She loves to see me and Rupert. So that hasn't changed since I've been in my van from when I was in my house. I also go to my sister's place quite a lot. And that hasn't changed either. Because when I was in my house, I used to do exactly the same thing. Reason is because my sister works 3 days a week. She gets up early in the morning, leaves early in the morning, and doesn't get home until early afternoon. And she's got a dog, Smokey. I think you've met him on one of the other videos. So I have always gone round there mid-morning on the 3 mornings that she works, To relieve Smokey, let him out in the garden. I take Rupert with me. Sometimes I leave Rupert there with him, but I let him out in the garden. We play. I spend an hour or so there, and then I go off again doing whatever I'm doing, whether it's working or, well, it's normally working, unfortunately. But that hasn't changed since I've been in my van. I used to do it when I was in my house. It's exactly the same. So the point I'm trying to make here is that my interpretation, as I say, of full-time van life is that my van's my home. It's just that my home's with me everywhere I go. You know, I don't go home to anywhere when I've finished doing what I'm doing. I just get back in my van. I don't spend 24 hours a day in my van. That'd be ridiculous. What a life that'd be. Some people might, I don't know. People that don't have to work, they've got some income, retirement, pension or whatever, maybe they do. In fact, I know one or two, well, they don't spend 24 hours a day in their van, but they certainly spend a lot of time in their van because they don't have to go to work. So during the day, they can sit and relax, do what they would do at home, just the same as if they was at home, really. So the time that I spend in my van is when I'm driving, like now, which is why I find it convenient to record these videos while I'm driving, because I'm not doing anything else. When I'm sleeping, well, of an evening when I finish work, I mean, and when I sleep, obviously I'm in my van. I'm in my van when I get up and I go through my morning routine before my day begins. And then that's it. The rest of the time I'm doing something else, but my van's always with me. I haven't got another vehicle. I haven't got a car. I don't leave my van and then go off in a car. Might be nice, you know. If I did, I couldn't afford that now. But so my van is my home and it's my transport. So going back to the original comment that this subscriber left, and thank you, if you're watching this video, you know who you are. It was a great comment and one that I really felt was worth discussing. My aim is to be a full-time van lifer that spends his life travelling around the country, staying in a different place every night, enjoying the country, and having adventures. Unfortunately, that's not my life at the moment. This is the reality of my life. Okay? So, yes, I'm a full-time van lifer. My van is my home. My van is my transport. My van is everything. But also, yes, I've got a life outside my van. I have to go to work. I've got family. I've got friends. And I still do all that stuff just as I did when I was in a house. That's about it. Hopefully you find this video interesting and worth giving a bit of thought to. And I'll see you in the next one.